Hello guys, welcome back. If you're interested in vocal technique, pick up my ebook called Becoming a Natural Singer, or if you want one-on-one help, book a lesson through my website or drop me an email, links in the description. So I want to break down what technique is and what technique isn't in a very simple, clear way. What are we trying to learn when we attempt to improve as singers on a technical basis in terms of just pure motor skills, pure function? Here's the subtlety of it, and when I talk about finding space for technique, we're trying to get enough junk out of the way that we can get back to this feeling. So in terms of connecting the vocal folds, which is, one of the fundamentals that we're learning, people ask me, well, it's just light, or, it's too squeezy, whatever it is, it's either falsetto or too heavy, or they feel like they can't sing heavy, or whatever. They've got this issue with connection. Here's the thing that I have to teach people and get through. And I have to teach this whilst trying to get the clutter out of the way. So to get them to not interfere too much with the process and only do this. This will give you an idea of how detailed it is, how intricate it is, and how we can easily miss things. So if you just make an airy sound in your speaking range, if I go where there's no stretch in the vocal folds, so the most natural feeling pitch you can make, literally you blow out and you connect the chords. For me, it's about there. If you're a girl, it's going to be higher. If you're a tenor, it's going to be a little bit higher. If you're bass, it's maybe a little bit lower. Okay, so we've got a sense of connection. The sound is coming out. Now, can we make a gentle, airy sound there? Not even airy, just a gentle sound really would be preferable. Like this, like a whoa, 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 whoa. It's very gentle. If I was talking to you, it would sound like this. Yeah, if I'm singing a lullaby to a baby at night, twinkle, twinkle, very, very gentle feeling. So if I talk to you like this, the chords are connecting very, very gently. Now, if I talk to you like this again, the chords are connecting more fully. Now, I want you to make these two sounds go whoa, 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 and now go eh, whoa, 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 eh. Now, I want you to do that a few times, and I want you to ask yourself, how does it feel different in the throat? Am I able to easily distinguish between those two sensations? And what you're going to notice is it's a very small difference in terms of what you're feeling in the throat there. Very small difference. Now, what if I said to you that as you stretch those vocal cords, you have to make that subtle adjustment with the closure and have full awareness of it right the way through your range. That little tiny difference in sensation. Feel it again, go, whoa, 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 eh, eh, whoa, 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 eh. It's a very, very subtle motion when we connect the vocal cords in that way. We're connecting them gently, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we're connecting them more fully, eh. Very, very subtle motion. You feel a very little subtle kind of tightening feeling in the throat, but it's very gentle to get that distinction between the sounds. Now the challenge we have as coaches and as singers is as we stretch those vocal folds, the CT muscles that stretch your chords require a significant amount of tension to get into head voice, especially for the bigger voice types. Now, whilst we're engaging that tension in the CT muscles, we are trying to, at least, attempting to coordinate the closure, which we call the TA muscles. We're trying to coordinate the closure in that very subtle way, all the way through the range. And what tends to happen is as people go into head and the CT muscles engage, the TA muscles also want to clamp down. We get more connection than we need. We get away from that subtle adjustment of the closure. So when people are learning this, the challenge often is, if they're harder cases, is how do we get back to that subtle adjustment? Because once you've got all the junk in the mid-range, it's very hard to get back to because you've got all of this stuff clamping down on you, and it inhibits your ability to move from whoa, 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 eh, to make that subtle adjustment with the closure and to attempt to maintain it as you go through your range. So I want you to make those sounds with closure and really experience it. Really experience the subtle shift in connection. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Eh. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Eh. And play with it a little bit like this. Just find sounds where you can explore that horizontal adjustment. You can think of range as working in two ways: vertical range in terms of pitch and horizontal range in terms of weight. Vertical range is more obvious in terms of the adjustment and the sensation in the throat. Horizontal range is a lot subtler and a lot more gentle throughout the range. So what we're trying to do is rub our tummy and tap our head at the same time, and this is what makes singing in mix hard at first for people, is whilst we are trying to make a subtle adjustment with one muscle group, we're trying to really engage another muscle group more fully, and these two muscle groups are right next to each other in the throat. Now, naturals take this for granted. They've got good separation between those muscle groups and they intuitively understand that there's two things going on. They won't be able to explain it like this, but they just get it. Whereas harder cases, all of those muscle groups and even often other muscles outside of the larynx are clamping down and getting involved in the process. And that makes it very difficult for them because they're unable to distinguish between the muscle groups. Once you understand this, you begin to understand why I talk about even connection throughout the range. What am I doing there? I'm encouraging you to get control of the vocal cord closure. Or we talk about keeping the vowel under control, not getting too muddy, not getting too bright. What am I doing there? I'm encouraging even controlled motion of the CT muscles, the stretch muscles, however you want to describe it. So all of these scales and all of this technical work has a deeper purpose, a more underlying purpose, a more fundamental purpose behind it. It's to allow you to get the muscles to start doing the right things. And once you've got the right habits in place, which is what naturals have, they take for granted that they've got the right habits in place, then singing starts to become exponentially easier. And what you'll find is, especially if you're a harder case, the first period of your learning process can be very, very tedious and very, very difficult. But there is a learning curve that's very steep at the start. But once you get to some reasonable fundamentals, that's when the progress really begins to start for you. So it can be very difficult for students that hit this wall because they feel like they're going nowhere for quite a significant amount of time. But all of a sudden it can click into place for you. If you can establish better fundamentals, it creates a little bit more wiggle room for you. It creates a little bit more space for you to start trying to execute some of these subtle adjustments that I'm talking about and demonstrating here in this lesson. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Drop me an email or check out my website if you want to book a lesson. I'll catch you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.